In this episode, we talk about why you should stop chasing success. Get excited because this is Tiny Leaps, Big Changes. Welcome to another episode of Tiny Leaps, Big Changes, where I share simple, research-based strategies you can use to get more out of your life. My name is Greg Clunis, and how often have you thought to yourself, if only I could accomplish this thing, whatever the thing is? Like, how often have you stopped yourself and thought, things are going to be so amazing once I do whatever your thing is? Now, if you're like me, you probably think that a lot. You're pursuing specific goals and you're trying to do specific things, and you are hyper-focused. You're looking ahead. You're looking at what you're going to be able to do and what life will be like when you get to that point. And it makes a lot of sense that we do this. It's highly, highly motivating. It's one of those things that keeps us engaged and keeps us excited to keep moving and to go through the struggle and the hard times and when things just aren't working for us. So it makes a lot of sense that we each, when we have specific goals, when we have things in mind for our lives, which I know everyone listening to this does, it's kind of a requirement. It makes sense that we look ahead at what things will be like when, or what we'll be able to accomplish once, and we plan for the future. But what if I told you that that was actually making you unhappier? What if I told you it was making it difficult for you to actually enjoy the present? And what if I told you that you would never actually reach that ideal state? Now, if you've been doing this for a while, this isn't going to sound like anything brand new, but it might serve as a good reminder. So let me ask you something. How will you know if you've accomplished your goal? How will you know if you've gotten to that place, that fictional place that you're dreaming of, that you're looking forward to, that you're planning for? How will you know? Is it a specific change in your life? Will you even notice that change, or will it creep up on you slowly? How will you know? The truth is, you're never actually going to reach it. I'm sorry to be the one to say it, but you're not. None of us will. Because that idealized future doesn't exist. Even if we accomplish our goals, it's going to be different than what we originally thought it would be. Because the circumstances will be different. When you take ideals and you put it into the real world and you add all of the complications and context that comes with that, things get messy. And even things that started in your mind as the perfect solution, the perfect outcome, the perfect place to be, those things start to feel messy as well. And those things have effects that we can't plan for. So we might achieve our goals. We might accomplish the thing we've always wanted and actually get there. But even if we do, more than likely, what we experience isn't going to be what we originally thought it would be like. And not only that, but it actually, the news is a little bit worse, because the truth is you probably will never actually achieve your goals. And what I mean by this isn't that you'll never do the thing you said you were going to do. It's that you'll never get the satisfaction of checking off that goal. And here's why. Because we move the goalposts constantly. Whatever our present situation is, we want the next thing. Even if our current present is what used to be the next thing. The minute we get there, we're already looking ahead at, what comes next? We move the goalpost. We move the milestones. We move what is actually required to accomplish in order for us to feel finally happy, whatever that means. And so we'll never actually achieve it. Yes, we might do that specific thing, but we won't actually get to this imaginary state we've created in our mind. And when you realize this, two things happen. One, you get very depressed Because it feels like, well, what am I doing any of this for then? If not only am I never going to hit it, but even if I did, the reality of it might actually be very different than what I expected. If those two things are true, then why am I working so hard? And we learn this truth and we get depressed, and that's fair. That is okay. Don't feel bad about that. But then something else has to happen as well. We have to realize what this is actually telling us. And what it's telling us is that instead of constantly chasing, we need to turn inward. We need to look at where we are now, look at the present. What is our life today? And if we want, we can even compare it to the past as an additional way to reinforce how far we've come. But it's important to recognize where you are now because, and this isn't going to be news, this might blow your mind a little bit, you're already winning. Now, I want to put a massive caveat on that because for many of you listening to this show, you might not feel like you are. And I'm not going to sit here and discount your specific situation. I'm not going to sit here and discount the struggles that you've either faced to this point or will face going forward or are currently facing. I'm never going to be that guy. And I'm never going to sit here and spew sunshine and rainbows and unicorns when life just isn't like that. The reason I say you're already winning isn't because your life is so amazing. It's because you're still trying. It's because you're still here. You're still listening to this podcast and who knows what other podcasts. You're still reading the books and you're watching the videos and you're doing the work. You're trying. You're doing something for yourself. That is winning. That is success. And even though your circumstances might be different from mine and might be different from Charles's and might be different from Susan's and Mary's and Nikki's and whomever else, it might all be different. That doesn't make you any less successful because we are all trying. We are all doing the best that we can, and we should all be proud of where we are today. That's what matters. That is success. Success is not the destination. In fact, success doesn't exist as a destination. For many of us, success will never exist because, like I said, we'll always move the goalposts. Success is actually a process. Winning is actually a process. It's something you go through, not something you reach. Success can be every single time you choose to say yes to something that scared you. Success can be every time you try something and fail at it. Success can be learning how to forgive yourself for not living up to your unreasonable expectations of who you should be. Success can be making peace with failure, recognizing that it is a part of the journey that we're all on. It's how we learn, how we improve, and how we adapt. Success can be whatever you need it to be. What it's not and never will be is this fictional, imaginary, made up. I recognize those are all synonyms, but I'm saying all three of them anyway. This imaginary destination you've created for yourself that you will never ever reach. And that should not disappoint you. That should not make you sad. And that should not depress you. In fact, it should be empowering. You are already successful. And as long as you keep trying, you will continue to be successful. And whatever outcomes come from that are great. That's fantastic. That is a bonus. That's not what we're doing this for. We're doing this to do our best and to try and to hold on to what we want and what we believe in. That's it. As long as we do those three things, we're already successful. There's no need to chase it. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you're listening to this podcast, find us over on YouTube. The link is in the description of this episode. I'd love to connect with you there. We're doing this in video, and we're going to try to keep it consistent this time. I know I've tried a few times, but we're trying again because that's success, right? Just keep showing up, just keep trying. So help me to be successful by helping you to be successful. Find us over on the YouTube and subscribe there. Drop a comment if you're feeling like you want to chat. I'd love to hear from you and connect. And I've been Greg Clunis, and remember that all big changes come from the tiny leaps you take every day.